Hey there, it's Thursday. We're going to talk winners today.
Us?
Big winners.
Us?
No, I said winners.
Oh, right.
We'll also talk to Rich Perlberg because everybody's walking around the streets singing I Want to Be Rich. Aren't they?
We had a Callaway moment here in the studio prior to going on.
I want to be rich.
We don't know where it came from.
No, it was just something that happened.
Mentioned Callaway, and the next thing you know, we're singing.
I want to be rich. Somebody won in the Fund of Life shopping spree at Cooper and Binkley Jewelers.
Big drawing yesterday.
We'll get to that. And we had a winner, finally, after 3 days of no winners. And Mike and John got it going on bonus prize trivia.
Wow.
From last night. One person got it right.
Okay.
Or close enough. So we'll check that out. Our
That's
2
good.
cent history lesson. And we'll give you one more chance, of course, to win tonight.
Right.
In Thursday night trivia, TNT, to qualify for that big bonus prize, courtesy of Jordan Genso, show sponsor, official GIGO realtor, community servant, community realtor.
Right. And, of course, don't forget today
Yes.
is May 4th.
Yes, it is. It's the 4th of May.
Yeah. Which means
It's Star Wars. What else?
it's right here. It's all over us.
You could use a breath mint.
It's the dark river.
All right, let's get the show on the road here. It's Mike and John got it going on, brought to you by Jordan Genso. And the latest news, courtesy of Cooper and Binkley Jewelers in downtown Brighton.
All right, here's what's going on. A Milford man has been charged with a decade-old rape. The Michigan Attorney General's office said 29-year-old Caleb James Watson of Milford was arrested by state police, the fugitive team in Livingston County on April 25th. He was arraigned last week by Judge Hemingway in the 8th District Court in Kalamazoo for the rape of a female Western Michigan University freshman back in the fall of 2013. Watson is charged with 4 counts of first-degree criminal sexual conduct and 1 count of assault with intent to commit penetration. According to a press release, the assault occurred in the victim's dorm room. Watson, who was then 20, was an acquaintance of the victim, then 18, because they lived in the same dorm. It's alleged Watson used force or coercion to frighten and overpower the victim. The sexual assault resulted in both physical injury and long-term mental anguish for the victim. If convicted, Watson faces a maximum punishment of life in prison. His bond was set at $250,000. He's next due in court for a probable cause conference May 10th. A former Weberville Village employee pleaded no contest Wednesday to embezzling tens of thousands of dollars of village funds. In a plea deal with prosecutors, 53-year-old Jamie Horde, Weberville's former clerk-treasurer, will not have to serve any upfront jail time, but the Lansing State Journal reports she will have to pay restitution to the village. In exchange for pleading no contest to a charge of embezzlement of $1,000 to $20,000 by an agent or trustee, that's a 5-year felony, a charge of embezzlement of $50,000 to $100,000, which is a maximum sentence of 15 years in prison, was dropped. A no contest plea is not an admission of guilt, but it's treated as such at sentencing, which for Horde is June 26th. Officials say between July of 2018 and April of 2022, Horde diverted more than $47,000 in property tax and utility payments, as well as submitted fake payroll claims valued at about $50,000. The missing funds were discovered by an outside auditing firm in March of 2022. And Congresswoman Alyssa Slotkin will join John Borsler, the Chief Veterans Experience Officer at the Department of Veterans Affairs, Friday for a town hall in East Lansing with local veterans to address the provisions of the Honoring Our Pact Act, which expands VA benefits to veterans exposed to burn pits, Agent Orange, and other toxic substances. According to a press release, Slotkin and Borsler will discuss how veterans can access care and answer questions surrounding the PACT Act, which was signed into law last year. The town hall welcomes veterans, their families, and their caregivers for open dialogue and to learn more about the law and how to access the many benefits it offers. VA doctors, nurses, benefits, and healthcare counselors will all be on site and available for questions. You'll find details on how to access that town hall on our website, mikeandjohnpodcast.com. And that's what's going on.
And news brought to you by Cooper and Binkley Jewelers in downtown Brighton. Of course, yesterday was the big drawing for the $10,000 shopping spree to benefit the not-for-profit Fund of Life with Mark Howell. And the winner yesterday was from Howell. I was waiting for a drum roll, but the drum guy's on strike. Or he's taking a nap. Kelly Reed was the winner of that $10,000 shopping spree at Cooper and Binkley Jewelers.
Yeah.
I think Mother's Day just got a little brighter.
I think so.
So congratulations to Kelly, and thanks to all that bought tickets for that raffle. Of course, it's going to go to a good cause, Fund to Life, helping those and their families in need. When times are really tight for their medical needs, and whether it's for bills or getting to and from treatments, those types of things, Fund to Life doing their part to help out here in Livingston County, and Cooper and Binkley Jewelers have been a part of that since the get-go. So kudos to them. And again, congratulations again to Kelly Reed of Howell, the winner in that $10,000 shopping spree at Cooper and Binkley Jewelers. Kelly just gained a lot of friends.
I would say so.
You think so?
Yeah.
And Cooper and
hey, what are you doing? Maybe you need a friend to help carry all your jewelry?
I got a box.
Yeah.
We can put it in the box. All right, congratulations. And
Meanwhile,
Cooper,
Kelly's like, I want to be
rich. Okay. No. She's probably too young to know that song.
Yeah.
So congratulations. And Cooper and Binkley Jewelers in downtown Brighton, of course, for all your jewelry needs, whether you'd like the latest designs from Simon G. or Zagani, you'd like some old jewelry you may have laying around reimagined, fixed, repaired, cleaned, you name it. They can do it at Cooper and Binkley Jewelers in downtown Brighton. Find out more on their website or on Facebook, Cooper and Binkley Jewelers. Last night, we finally got past having a stumper in our trivia question.
We did. But before we go there, we want to remind you to go to Eternity Brewing on Thursday, June 1st.
Now, listen, you don't need to line up at the door, but we do recommend it.
If people need to camp out the night before, because it is Mike and John night.
It is.
I mean, you can imagine the crowds that
we're
are going to
expecting
form.
a big crowd.
Yeah, I mean,
we're anticipating it.
In fact, we probably want to alert local law enforcement. They may want to have
crowd
control ready. Maybe bring out the riot cannons.
If you or someone you know is a bouncer, we may need them there.
Right. Or you can just show up at 6 o'clock
and have some fun
and get in the door. It's Mike and John night at Eternity Brewing, 6 o'clock, Thursday, June 1st. And of course, it is all to benefit the Walk to End Alzheimer's. And there'll be a special Mike and John brew, which we are in the midst of having you vote on that.
Of the poll. Now, I believe the second one was the one that was in the lead.
I don't know. I think actually.
Or was it the third
I think
one?
it's number. Oh, no, it is number 2. You're right.
Number two.
We're such children. You really are.
I never really watched Star Wars, but I do know that Picard always goes
Star Trek.
Star Trek. I'm sorry.
Well, it's May
Star Wars
4th.
Day.
That's why
It's all confusing. They both have stars in them.
It's stars in their eyes. Yes. But if you go to mikeandjohnpodcast.com, you'll see the poll there. You click the link.
Number 2.
And it will take you to
the different flavors.
Yeah, the different flavor combinations. There's 4 different flavor combinations.
Have the percentages changed much? Because it's number 2 has been in the lead, I think, since the get-go.
It has, but they're tightening. The race is tightening. So right now, the option number 2, this is the passion fruit, orange, guava, and Scotch bonnet pepper, is coming in at 32%. That's the lead. But right behind it, and I'm pulling for it, is option 4, lemon, peach, and black tea, 28%. I'm voting for that every day. You can too.
Oh, you're stacking the vote.
You can do one. Everyone has 1 vote per day. Option 3 is in third, hibiscus, raspberry, lime zest, and mint. And then option 1 is still at the bottom of the list, lavender, vanilla bean, and lemon zest.
I think that one's been eliminated just by...
You want to have like a runoff?
People are scanning by.
You want to have like a runoff system?
Nah,
I'm sorry you didn't make the semifinals.
Maybe it's the brackets. I'm
you know
not
what?
sure.
Maybe we should have some sort of a semifinal system. Like by the end of the week,
place your bets.
We'll eliminate. You know what? Maybe we could do that. I'll look into it. Now, by the way, our good friend Madonna.
Yes.
Loyal listener. She actually did a little research for us yesterday
on that bonnet,
on Scotch bonnet pepper.
Bonnet.
Now, she said. I've never even heard of a Scotch bonnet pepper.
Like
I had no idea.
John.
But she says it's closely related to the habanero pepper. And she said Scotch bonnets have a heat rating of between 100,000 and 350,000 Scoville units. And I know
the Scoville unit.
I know. I've heard that that's how they
hotness.
rate the hotness, right?
Yeah.
I'm not going to make a joke.
We've topped the charts on the Scoville unit.
Stop. All right. And she says, for comparison, most jalapeno peppers, so you think about like a really hot jalapeno.
I really don't.
Right.
You guys.
That only has between 2,500 and 8,000 Scovilles, whereas the Scotch bonnet pepper has 100,000 to 350,000.
So we're really going to need a fire extinguisher if that's the beer. That's hot.
That's kind of hot. But I guess it's why the passion fruit, orange, and guava are in there to kind of tame it.
Oh, I see. Taming the hot.
Yeah. So. So
Look at you. You know, you actually try to sound like you know what you're talking about with that. It's to tame the hotness.
well, it is to tame the hotness.
Yeah,
I know how it
it's
is.
hotness
I
control.
got to tame my hotness every day.
And
I
you're
do
doing
a
a
pretty
great
damn good job, don't you think?
Some may say you're over taming it. Some may say you may have eliminated the hotness.
Okay,
That's what some.
We don't
may
have
say.
to go that far. Anyway, Mike and John night, Thursday, June 1st, Eternity Brewing.
When does the voting end?
We're going to run that through, I think you still got 2 more weeks. We're going to run it through.
That's a lot of voting.
Let me put that. I think we're going to run it through May 19th.
All right. Now I'm going to give you the voting tip. So you can vote once a day. What you do is you wait till 11:59 p.m. Place your vote.
Right.
Then after that tabulates, it hits 12:01 or 12 o'clock the next day. You can get 2 votes in within like 2 minutes. How's that?
I guess.
Does that make sense?
You certainly can do that.
If you want to stay up that late,
you
maybe.
could just once a day go to mikeandjohnpodcast.com.
You should go to Mike and John Podcast like 6 times a day just for the fun. mikeandjohnpodcast.com. Because you know what else is there, John?
What is there?
Our new gear.
That's true.
The new gear is available just in time for spring. You want to, you know what?
With our new logo.
With our new logo that you
Oh.
may see on the billboard on 96 near D19, Michigan Avenue, if you're heading west.
Is
You
that
may
where that
see
is? Did you see it this morning on
I
your way
did see
in?
it this morning, yeah. And here's what I noticed. I noticed that it looks like your picture's a little bigger than mine.
That's because I'm a little bigger than you. Okay. I don't know if you noticed, I'm a bit wider than you are.
So you're getting more sign space. I think you should pay more. If you look at it, I'm kind of getting ripped off.
I'm not doubting it. I'm telling you, I'm wider than you are.
So, and if we were really standing there by the side of the road just holding that sign, I'd be the one most likely to get hit because I'm closer to the road.
You are closer to the lane of traffic. This is true. All right. So you need to chunk up. That's what you need to do.
I got to bulk
up. You need to just start eating fast food left and right, and then you two can have more billboard space.
Okay. That's my goal for 2023.
I mean, sure, I could lose weight, but I just prefer
you could
just
even it out.
I think you just need to get fatter. I think that's easier.
All right.
Well, for me.
Well, thanks to everybody that commented too on the billboards. We had to revise them for 2023 due to legal reasons, but it was a lot of fun with the help of Nicole
Beasley. Oh, Mrs. Beasley had a problem with it.
Getting mad at my radio.
That looks too familiar. All right, anyway.
Mrs. Beasley's a whiner.
I would say so.
All right. Last night in our trivia question, it was the Wednesday night bonus prize trivia, and it was kind of like a double bonus. I didn't put the D in there.
No, it's too many letters.
Yeah, and probably would have misspelled it. So.
And the bonus, of course, was a $25 Amazon gift card was up there.
That's the bonus prize.
And that's courtesy of our OG sponsor, Firehouse Doors.
Yes.
25 years serving Livingston County. Give them a call, 810-599-7480.
All right, so the question read like this, and we did, for those that stuck through a good portion of yesterday's podcast, you may have had more time to think about it.
We apologize.
So shame on you that you didn't. Men in their 60s.
You know men.
Are 38% more likely to know how to do this than men in their 20s.
Right.
So a lot of the guesses pertain to automobiles, maintenance and repair. And those were legitimate guesses. However, nowadays you have to be a computer expert to be able to fix a vehicle.
Oh yeah, I don't know anything about cars, but up until I'd say the mid 90s, if I open the hood on a car, I could identify the components and go, that does this, that does this.
Right. And some of us guys would say, where's the carburetor when you open up the car now? It's not there.
Now I'm like,
where's the carburetor?
I
got gum out.
Where's the Fetzer valve?
So there was a lot that had to do with automobiles. So those were legitimate, good guesses, not correct though. No. Molly said, a man offering an arm for a walk. Take my arm.
The old chivalry.
Yes. Looking very... Beth said grill.
All right. Renee said use a rotary phone. And I'm thinking you'd have to be more like in your 80s, I think, to have.
No, I had a rotary phone.
Yeah, I remember as a kid.
That was my first phone. No, you know what? We had the family phone was a rotary phone, but when I got my own red bat phone in my basement room.
I mean, I remember
push button.
being a little kid, like 5, 6 years old, and there was one phone in the house. That was it. There was literally one phone. It was a rotary phone.
And did you run to answer it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
See, this is what a time change that is. Now it's like, who's calling? We'll let that go to voicemail.
Oh, yeah. Any number that comes up on my phone, I don't know what it is. I'm like, yeah, I'm not answering that.
Caller ID kind of ruined it for that surprise, the element of who's calling now.
I don't know who you are.
Oh, you're a bill collector.
Right.
Mom said to hang up.
Right. So, a rotary phone. Interesting answer, but not ad.
No. Katie said polka. Yeah, I think you'd have to be over 60 to know how to polka, unless it's a family tradition.
Well, I suppose that's true.
Karen said please a woman. There's a lot of ways. We're not going to get into that on this family-oriented show.
Oh, of course not. No. Lawn care, Christine said. Mow, edge, weed, whip, sweep. Yeah. Like the full course of lawn care. Now, you still do your lawn, right? Now, do you do the whole thing? Mow, edge, weed, whip, sweep?
Well, myself and my son. He's got to earn his rent somehow.
I see.
But no, I mean, it's...
Does he want to live here?
He's seen the basement, and he's not impressed.
Oh, okay, well.
No, we've got the battery-powered stuff now.
Oh, right.
And he's not real hip on the mower, but the blower, that sucker's got some power.
Oh.
You can blow dry your car with
that.
Blow
all your stuff onto the neighbor's lawn.
Heck yeah.
It's like the blower wars.
Toilet seat was another one of the popular guesses. Tie a tie, said Sandra. Great Scott said balance a checkbook.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. No one does that anymore.
I let the accountant in our family take care.
But I mean,
that way I don't have to.
I mean, obviously you want to balance your accounts, but I think like balance a checkbook, if you literally balancing it in your register,
that's balancing.
No.
That's how I do it.
Yeah. Susan Cougar.
What did Cougar say?
Bring her out into the light. Sorry.
Mike Tipton said drive a stick shift.
By the way, Susan, Susan said open a car door for others,
or even any door.
Yeah,
you don't see that many younger people do that for anybody.
I almost feel
I think it's a common courtesy. It should be done all the time.
And do you do it all the time for your wife when you go out to dinner or?
Yeah, in general, I'm pretty sure I do.
Oh, okay, me too.
So I was like, don't you know that you're supposed to hold the door for me?
Damn it, now I got to start holding the door. Damn it. Stop making me look bad. Elizabeth said dance. Like nobody's watching. Yeah.
We were dancing when Callaway, I Want to Be Rich is on.
Yeah, thank God no one was watching.
Yes. Read cursive, said Cousin Jeff.
Oh, yeah.
Cursive can be an art, but then there's some you're like, what is that? And I think that just has to do with those that practice writing autographs when they're kids. You wanted people to know that it was you.
Right.
Did you practice autographs?
Of course I did.
Because you had to practice your signature. So
I had a whole fake name made up for when I was a rock star.
Oh, what was that?
I was going to be Jacob McCauley.
Jacob McCauley.
This is a true story.
Yeah. Why Jacob McCauley?
I just picked Jacob McCauley. My middle name is Jacob, and I just was like, you know what, I'm going to be. And
you wouldn't go by Jake?
Yeah.
No,
I might, but it'd be Jacob McCauley.
It's Jake on the bass.
Oh,
yeah. And now opening for Jet Screamer. It's there's your Jetsons reference. You're welcome.
Yeah.
Or you could have been opening for Superstone on the Flintstones. Jake McCauley.
Superstone. Yeah. Val said operate farm equipment.
Yeah, see, so, I don't know. I think you'd have to be born on a farm to even have any interest in that.
If we talked to Bonnie Runyon, she'd probably tell you about it.
She'd say, my kids know how to work the hoe.
Oh, come on.
That was cheap.
I'm
sorry that was cheap. All right, so we did get an answer that was close enough for rock and roll.
Lots of interesting answers, but not a correct one exactly, but as you said.
There would be, because you have to be aware of this. Alicia Ryder, congratulations. You win the $25 gift card from Amazon, courtesy of OG sponsor Firehouse Doors. The correct answer was how to shine shoes.
Yeah.
How to shine your shoes. And she said shoe shine or get your shoes shined.
Right.
Which is real easy to say. Shoe shine. Shoe shine.
I'm not drinking, officer.
And now Jacob McCauley opening for Shoe Shine.
I want to be rich.
But think about it. Does anybody shine their shoes anymore? And our clues yesterday were like going to the airport. And I don't even know if they have a shoe shine guy at the airport anymore.
I don't think they do.
You know, it's like what we do now, we throw them out and we buy new ones. It's kind of like our car, shoe shine. So congratulations to Alicia. She's also in the running for the drawing tomorrow, courtesy of Jordan Genso, show sponsor, for that basket of $100 in gift cards, which will be able to be picked up at Captain's on Main.
Right.
Does Nick know that yet?
I hope so.
I hope Nick knows.
Yeah.
We'd like to get a few more people in the drawing, so we'll put up another question tonight. No offense, Alicia. But we'll put up a question tonight to give more people a chance to win.
Yeah.
In our trivia question.
Congratulations again to Alicia Ryder.
Yes.
And of course, those baskets, courtesy of our show sponsor.
That's what I said, Jordan Genso.
Well, we got to do this whole spot thing. Taking care of business.
Spot on Jordan.
Yeah.
Spotlight on Jordan.
Yeah. Jordan Genso from Remax Platinum, community servant, community realtor. And of course, he is focusing on downtown businesses in Brighton for Main Street May. And this week, as we said, talking about Captains on Main. Next week, I believe, we're going to get a little cheesy.
We are.
Yeah.
We're always
We're going to get cultured. And
cultured cheese?
Yeah, cultured beer and cheese.
Yes.
So that'll be our business next week.
Okay.
Focusing on.
Got it.
Yeah, just a little hint.
Little tease.
Of course, courtesy of Jordan Genso, show sponsor. He's the exclusive GIGO realtor.
If you're looking to buy or sell a home, Jordan Genso, the one to call. We're not calling him right now.
No, I was just going to say, are we selling a home?
I want to be rich.
I didn't know if that was already.
Rich Perlberg, that is. Man of many talents. Good morning, Rich.
Mike, hey, man of many talents. That's all I heard. Hey, how you guys doing in the wake of this writer's strike?
It's tough. We've, as you can tell, we're writing our own material now.
Well, I know it's not. I mean, no offense, but it's not as tight and witty as it has been with your professional writing staff.
Actually, we've decided, as somebody pointed out, if we were to have, we're not writing anything because we're not scabs. We're not crossing that picket line. So,
all right, I like that.
No writing.
Like that.
There's no comedy writing going on here.
I wrote down the winner's name.
There's no comedy writing going on. Oh my gosh!
None.
So does that apply to me too? If I send you a column in this week, am I a scab?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, we'll have to talk. To
how about if you just don't pay me this week?
Okay, this week only.
Yeah, unpaid writing.
This
that's
week
just
only.
Thoughts.
Yeah, that's called interning.
But even interns get paid these days. I never got paid as an intern. Did you?
No.
These kids getting paid as interns.
Right. Well, next thing you'll know, they'll not want to go to the coal mines for 12 hours.
Right. No one wants to work anymore in the coal mines.
The coal's beautiful.
Yeah. Now you were gone last week, and I know you were in Cancun.
Yeah, and then Alabama.
But there was some other stop.
Arkansas.
Why did I think Alabama?
Who is your travel agent?
Yeah.
Oh, that's such a boomer thing to say.
That's true.
Travel agent.
No, they're still out there. I have a friend that's a travel agent.
No, and I only say that because I've been called a boomer because I use travel agents. But
Rich Boom Perlberg.
There you go. Boom boom shrimp, bang bang. Anyway, let's not go there.
No.
I went. It's a traditional tour, Cancun and Fayetteville, Arkansas.
Oh yeah, I see those junkets all the time.
Is that like, if you take this trip, you get a discount?
Yeah. It's kind of like Iceland used to do that. If you went to Europe through Iceland, the flight to Iceland was free.
Oh, right. Well,
I never did that, but I saw that. So if you wanted the enticement to go to Cancun is that you also got to go to Arkansas.
Okay.
No, kidding. I've never been there before. That part of Arkansas
there wasn't.
It's quite beautiful.
So this is strange. I thought you had like family down there, or there was some reason to go to Arkansas, but it was really just
there was. I'm kidding. There was a wedding.
Oh, I see.
It just happened to be at that time. So rather than flying back to Michigan and then going back to Arkansas, we just came back to Arkansas.
Why do they call it Arkansas when it's just Arkansas?
Why don't they call it?
Why don't they call it Kansas?
Yeah, thanks. I couldn't go there. It's too early in the morning to figure that out. I don't know. I think R means can't spell Kansas.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this has been a great conversation, Rich.
So far, so good.
Was this your topic?
See what happens when you don't have writers?
No one can tell. We didn't have writers. We do now. No, we were actually going to talk about the results of the Hartland millage election on Tuesday. Overwhelming win, 3-1, basically in favor of renewing this millage, which normally is kind of a pro forma thing.
Is that like a Headley override? Is that where they have to do it?
It is, exactly.
For the non-homestead,
Right,
yeah.
right.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, and I know people are relieved that it won so easily because you had the, what's the technical term? The crazies coming out against it. But that's the jargon. I mean, no.
Got it.
But I'm just trying to show off my research. But
You're not supposed to do research for this segment.
Okay, there, and so I perform well. The fact is, these things almost always go like this. If it would have been dangerous had this not passed, you're basically one of the few times where you get to vote on other people paying taxes. It's, you're the non-homestead is for second homes, apartment buildings, businesses and stuff. And this is a tax rate that's already been established. 24 mills is supposed to be, and because of Headley, it has to be periodically renewed. That at one is good, but that doesn't prove that the crazies aren't out there.
Right, the people that were that were supporting the millage, like this group Livingston Integrity and others that were supporting this. I mean, they've taken this as a great sign that indeed these efforts to control curriculum and ban material in the schools are being rejected by the community. But what I'm hearing you say, and I think it's a valid point, is that there was no skin in the game for a lot of voters.
No, and if this one couldn't pass easily, then I mean that's the bare minimum of support for a district. I mean that's like me saying I'm in support of you guys spending more money on writers.
You're just not going to give us any.
Yeah.
No, exactly. And I mean I'm glad it won, and the argument against it was surprisingly ridiculous. I mean, you had people saying, "Oh, if you pass this, Meyer is going to raise their prices." I mean, it was just stupid because Meyer is a business and has to pay the 24 mills. This threat to local education isn't over just because a non-homestead Headley renewal got approved.
Well,
because
right.
it should have been.
But you had the leadership of the local Republican Party that was out. I mean, just out and out in opposition on the record. I mean, you had Dan Wolahan saying, this will give us leverage with the district. And that particular phrase, I know.
Did he say that, really?
Yeah, he did.
Oh, my God.
And so,
that was before or after he was officiating the fist fight up at Clare?
I don't know. But that phrase, this will give us leverage. I mean, that was that really struck a lot of people. Like, wait, hold on here. These are our kids. This is their education. Why are they being used as leverage for what? What are you leveraging?
Yeah,
exactly.
It's all about the kids. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, and I wonder what the long term is, because while it's good it passed and passed resoundingly, what's going to happen at the next school board election? Will people be as fired up and as aware as they were for this one? People just don't pay much attention to those school board elections, and look what happened last time. Most of us slate won, and will the same interest be out there? I mean, they hold these elections probably in November, do they, or the school board elections? I think it varies.
It does, but.
But I mean, they had the crazies had a slate.
I don't know.
Yeah, the crazies had a slate going last time, and I think 2 of the 3 won, and so there's no doubt that the one who didn't win, and maybe another, will be on the ballot the next time. And will people be paying attention? And will you find anybody? And I'm sorry for using these extremes, but will you find anybody normal who wants to run in that environment?
Well,
I think that's they can still do damage. That's what I'm saying.
Well, and what I have seen through the years, not just in Hartland, but in school districts really everywhere, is that you see candidates that run for school board, and they have very little idea of what a school board actually does.
Yeah.
And they have this idea that, if I get on the school board, I'm going to change how the district does things. And you're like, no, you're not. Even if you have a majority on a board, yeah, you can make some changes. There's no doubt about it, but there are limitations as to what a board can do. And also, by the way, I think being a school board member is like incredibly difficult. Like there is a lot of material that you're supposed to read and be prepared for each meeting.
You take it seriously, if your whole job is to throw bombs and be a disruption, it's a whole different ballgame. And yeah, you're right. As far as affecting positive change, it's difficult. But if you get a majority, you can create a lot of damage. You can try to fire the superintendent.
Right.
And that's not very that's not very good for.
I'm sure Howell schools will remember not that long ago.
They had a wheel of superintendents, man. That was nuts.
Who wants to be superintendent for a day?
I mean, it really was like, hey, spin the wheel.
We're going to talk to the superintendent. Didn't we just do that? No, it's a new one.
No, it's a new.
No, the thing with school boards is that I think some of these people, that's their step into politics, whether and it can go into other fields as well, other ventures in politics, whether it be city or state, that type of thing. It's a stepping stone sometimes.
That's the concern now, but hasn't been the case in the past. School boards was not a political stepping stone. I had one guy tell me once that school board members, and this was kind of sexist, but he was saying that they're basically the PTO moms who sold the most pizza kits, because they were successful as a fundraiser for the PTO. Then they moved up to the school board. It's only recent that the school board has been targeted as a political place to go. I mean, and often, for better or worse, school board members were kind of groomed by the superintendent to support whatever the policy was, and that's not always bad.
Be careful using the word groom when we're talking about schools.
As soon as it came out, I said that. I know. I've been indoctrinated on that. But
So,
are we going to have to change the guy's title when he's going to get married from groom to something else, or is that how it works? He gets groomed after he's married.
It's true.
I'm really not. Now I think about this.
You're on your own here now.
Yeah, you really are on your own. Whoa, you got a lot of doors to open for your wife now.
No, I mean it's worrisome. I mean the Republican Party, or what passes for the Republican Party in Livingston County these days, got fully involved in the school board elections, and my guess is they'll do it again. And I'm not. This idea of gaining power is not just to affect curriculum. I think it's more to destroy the public school system.
Well, I mean that's a whole. I mean that's an
step.
entirely different. Not different. It's an entirely another discussion that you could have, but it's related because you're right. I mean, I think there is this effort to privatize schools, and I mean they've openly talked. As a matter of fact, so even to make it local, the Livingston County Republican Party recently, within the last few days, they posted on their Facebook page a video of a prominent conservative talking about how they were going to eliminate the Department of Education in Washington. They're just going to completely eliminate the Department of Education and get rid of it. And they were cheering that on. And it is part and parcel with this idea that you want to privatize education and you want to get rid of public education in the United States, much less Michigan. Which is
odd. I wish they would articulate. Maybe they do what it is that they so fear or gets them so bothered about federal involvement in the Department of Education.
If you're going to privatize it all, that's just going to cost instead of paying tax dollars to the school systems, you're going to be paying for your kids to go to school.
And people will get rich.
Well, most people, they'll have that, but most people, if don't send kids to school, I think there's only about 30% of the households have kids in school age, so that means they wouldn't have to spend money. But back in the South, when Brown versus Board of Education forced or tried to force the integration of schools, one of the reactions was to quit funding public schools because the whites controlled the government, and all of a sudden private schools started to flourish, and so the public schools became all black, and the white kids all in underfunded public schools, and the white kids all went to private schools. So it's weird to see where they're going to go. I mean, in Livingston County, what involvement do you think the federal government has in our schools?
Hardly any. I would say other than the basic minimums that are required by the Department of Education, minimum curriculum requirements.
I don't even know they have that.
Yeah. Right, you're right. That's
I
more of a
just don't
state.
think
You're right.
there is.
Yeah, that's more of a state.
When money is spent on federal dollars are spent, it's generally to really poor areas, inner cities and stuff for food programs and things. I mean, they do send letters out saying you shouldn't, discriminate against kids based on their gender and stuff. But if the federal government has virtually no impact financially or any other way on Livingston County schools, it's just one of these scare tactics that's brought up. The federal government.
It's the boogeyman. I mean,
yes.
It's so.
I mean, almost all Livingston County funding comes from state funds.
Right.
Property taxes,
the pure pupil funding, right?
Yes,
right, which comes from property taxes. All right. Well, then I'm glad we've solved education. That's taken care of.
Do you want? I'm flipping through my script here, and I'm getting blank pages.
Wait a minute. I hope that script was written before the writers went on strike.
It was sent to me in Cancun. I was reading it on the beach.
Okay, so you got some good sleeping in. All right, good.
So we got Cancun, Arkansas, and Headley overrides in one discussion.
Yes. I think Arkansas was the most fun topic.
Yeah.
If you could give us a little geography lesson in your less you know column this week, we'd appreciate that.
I did not know where I didn't even know where Fayetteville was, but it's like right on the edge of the Ozark Mountains.
There you go.
It's really pretty up there.
Okay. All right. Well, hey,
I can recommend some restaurants and some coffee shops. If you ever go, let me know.
All right. Was there any possum on the menu?
Yeah.
Oh,
they have any
I know.
Look at you on the
What
prairie.
type of shot is that? It's not in season.
Oh, okay.
You got to know your environment, John. Come on.
I'm sorry.
Squirrel's hot this time of year.
Squirrel omelets. Nothing better.
All right, Rich.
All right, guys. This was good. Who needs writers?
Yeah,
That's right.
Absolutely. All right, Rich Perlberg, The Less You Know. We'll look forward to your column this weekend, and talk to you next week.
Sounds good.
All right, Rich. Thanks.
Good deal.
Yeah, and it's the weather is supposed to turn a little bit nicer this week.
Wait. He's back.
I feel his presence.
May the 4th be with you. Yeah.
I'm still not going to watch Star Wars. Just so you know.
Why not?
I have no interest. I really have no
Apparently you
interest
don't.
in Star Wars.
Yeah.
All right.
May the 4th be with you.
Yes, the geeks are going to be out today.
Oh, the geeks here every day, right next to you, fella.
Well, the weather is supposed to get a little bit nicer this weekend, and thank goodness we've got Roman's Pools and Supplies to help us with our pools. We hope if you have a pool or are considering a pool, you'll turn to Roman's as well. They can check out your chemical balances and imbalances. They do the water tests free in-house. They can also take care of any maintenance you may need or repairs when it comes to your heaters or pumps, those types of things, filters. Matter of fact, last year we ended up going from a sand filter to a glass filter, and that has been a big change and a good positive change for us. So if you're thinking about pool needs,
Mr.
Roman's.
Fancy Glass Filter.
That's what they call me, Fancy Glass.
Fancy Glass.
Yes, they do. It's just a step above. When you want to go top shelf when it comes to filters.
Back in the Stone Age with the old sand filter. Doing your sand.
Well, you belong in the sand. Roman's Pools and Supplies locations in Howell and Brighton as well. We appreciate their support here on Mike and John Got It Going On. As a matter of fact, that's a great time to remind folks, even if you don't have a pool or you don't need garage door repair or you're not in the market to move, buy or sell a house, we just appreciate that you could pass on a thank you to those that have supported this show throughout the year and a half that we've been on. We really appreciate their support and yours as well.
Right. If just let our advertisers know you appreciate what they do, and that helps us out, of course. So we always appreciate that.
And as we mentioned, coming up on June 1st, it's Mike and John night at Eternity Brewing. We'll find out what the brew is going to be in a little bit. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, by the way, has announced their class of 2023.
Okay. I heard some of the names, and I was like...
Some of them I kind of question when it comes to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
This happens every year, because in our minds, rock and roll, we think, we think rock and roll, Kiss, Zeppelin.
Sure.
You know.
You don't think Missy Elliott or Kate Bush or perhaps Willie Nelson.
But I think what they bring them under different like categories, like, you know, music influencers.
Sure. I mean, let's face it. If it wasn't for Willie, there would have been a lot less pot in the world of rock and roll.
Right. but more to the point, I mean, Willie Nelson, you know, a prolific songwriter, was writing hits, you know, long before he was a known star. He was a songwriter. And certainly country has a lot of influence in rock and roll, and rock and roll and R&B have a lot of it. So I get it in a certain extent, but I agree. Sometimes you hear those names and you're like, I almost feel like they need to change the name of it from the rock and roll
to the Music Hall of Fame.
Just the Music Hall of Fame, right,
yeah.
right.
Sheryl Crow, who's a big fan of this podcast, or we're a fan of her podcast.
Well, whatever.
Either way, she's getting in. George Michael, Rage Against the Machine, and the Spinners. Rubber Band Man. Wasn't that them?
Yeah.
The
Spinners. You going to sing it now?
No.
Okay, thank you.
There's also been Musical Excellence Awards, Shaka Khan.
We were just talking about Shaka Khan yesterday.
Yes, we were.
She was supposed to be on the Addicted to Love with Robert Palmer.
Yeah. Al Cooper and Bernie Taupin, of course, Bernie having a great part of Elton John's career, too.
And not Alice Cooper.
Al Cooper.
Yeah.
With a K.
I think Alice is already in.
I'm pretty sure he is.
Yeah.
All right. So that was kind of cool to hear who's going in that ceremony coming up in November. Today is, as John said, May the 4th, so Star Wars Day. It's also Bird Day, International Firefighters Day. We salute the firefighters.
We do.
And their families, too. International Respect for Chickens Day. Respect the chicken.
Respect the chicken.
Lemonade Day. Bike to School Day.
Okay.
Petite and Proud Day.
It's my day.
And National Orange Juice Day.
Okay. And you said it was also what, May the 4th?
Yes.
May the 4th be with you? Star Wars Day.
I did say it was Star Wars Day.
It's over your shoulder.
Don't you hate it when Darth Vader looks over your shoulder?
I hate when that happens.
The first practical phonograph, better known as the gramophone, was patented on this day in 1886.
Right.
Gangster Al Capone in 1932 was finally jailed for tax evasion.
Got him on the tax evasion. Coppers.
Sometimes that's how they get the criminals.
Yeah.
Tax evasion. Not paying their taxes.
Right.
That's how they get the criminals.
That's how they get them.
That's sometimes, yeah.
Sometimes that's the only way.
1965, a IBM programmer.
There's a lot in there in a 5-second span.
Can we edit this? Never mind. The editors are on strike,
That's true.
too.
They went with the
1965, an IBM programmer introduced the Sketchpad, which was a computer program that featured the first interactive window display and primitive pointing device, the forerunner to the mouse and the touchpad. 1965.
Wow.
1968. Even without an app, the Big Mac was introduced by McDonald's. Wow. That's a Big Mac.
When was the last time you had a Big Mac?
I don't know that I've ever had a Big Mac.
Never?
I was like a quarter pounder
Oh, okay.
kind of guy, not the Big Mac. Wasn't the Big Mac similar to the Big Boy?
Well,
Kind of had the
people say
two
the
all
Big
beef
Boy
patty
was
special
similar
sauce,
to the
lettuce,
Big
cheese,
Mac.
pickles,
Yeah,
onions,
yeah.
and
And Thousand Island dressing, which is a secret sauce. It's Thousand Island dressing. It's not that secret.
Why you letting everybody know?
Right. It was too messy.
1971. Female nudity was seen for the first time on network television.
What?
It was on PBS
Oh, okay.
when Valerie Perrine appeared nude in the production of Steam Bath.
Oh,
No, Valerie's not behind us.
No.
Kiss performed their first concert on this day in
And Cougar's
1976.
like, don't look at me.
Kiss performed their first concert 1976 on this day.
Oh, wow. And they're on their final tour.
Is it their farewell?
Final.
Final?
This is it. We mean it tour. So 76.
1976.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You know,
That's when that was heavy metal. You know, if you think about rock and roll all night, party every day, shout it out loud,
right.
those kind of songs, that was heavy metal.
It's for
kind
sure.
of pop now.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that's bubblegum music now.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't know if you saw Paul Stanley got in a little trouble on Twitter. I know that's hard to believe.
What did he do?
Well, he was talking about the whole trans issue, and he was saying he didn't really understand. It was very kind of ignorant, and he was basically like, you know, these kids and they're gender bending, and then like immediately people were putting up pictures of him as kids
in a
going,
wig.
You mean we should be normal like this, dress like this, put on our makeup with our red lipstick? It was like, well, maybe you should just stay on Twitter.
Maybe you should,
Maybe you should just go to rehearsal and get off Twitter. Okay.
2007, hotel heiress Paris Hilton was sentenced to jail for violating probation in an alcohol-related reckless driving case. She served 23 days, hard time for Paris,
I'm sure it was
behind
tough.
bars,
Oh, yeah.
and then went on to do a reality series with Nicole Richie.
Yeah.
And those hamburger commercials.
Right? Carl's Jr.
It's hot.
Yeah. She's somewhat kind of matured, and I know she's become an advocate for child abuse.
Oh.
So,
Well, you know, she was young then, 2007.
Right, yeah,
We were a lot younger then,
you
too.
grow up, and
Some of us grow up.
you're an heiress.
And finally, it was on this day in 2012, in Las Vegas, Nevada. Google received the first self-driving vehicle testing license.
Oh.
And we still really haven't had
No. Although I've seen...
the success of what they were talking about
Right.
back then being the norm.
Right. But I've seen, like, in Ann Arbor, they've got some of these, self-driving, like, pizza delivery things. I've seen those. And Bowling Green, Ohio, where Bowling Green State University is, they have a lot of them down there. And so you'll actually see them on the crosswalks, these little squat, it looks like a lawnmower without the handle, and it's just trugging along. It's got a couple pizzas in there. It's heading to someone's dorm.
So it's kind of like a drone on the ground.
Yeah,
it's a ground drone.
Pretty much, yeah. And they're sort of everywhere. And it's just.
Are you sure there's not a guy?
The first time I saw them,
place delivering, with a remote control,
maybe.
kind of like he's got an RC vehicle. I mean,
it would kind of obviate like, well, I have them, but it was just the first time I saw them, I'm like, what is this? What's happening here?
does it have an oven on it to keep the pizza hot?
I mean, it's got like there's a thing on top that obviously is the warmer.
How
where
cool
the
is
pizzas
that?
Are. Right.
Nobody can stop it and take a slice.
I think
They should sell it that way, like the ice cream truck.
Maybe
The pizza truck is kind of going through the neighborhood.
God, you're right.
I'm on to another $1 million
They should do that
idea.
with ice cream trucks.
They should do that.
Just make him. First of all, get the questionable guy that's the driver out of there, who's always yours.
Hey,
like, I don't know if I want you around my
Somebody
kids.
needed that job.
I understand, but I'm like, have you reported to your parole officer? Sometimes you're just like, I don't know. You seem a little sketchy.
Well, it's not like the good old days when the good humor guy all
Well,
dressed
yeah.
in white
That's
and
true, with
the
the bow
cooler
tie.
looking truck.
Yeah. But, right. If they were
And
just
the bow tie. No, it's just some tattooed guy with gauges hanging out of his ears, and you're just going, I really don't want this guy near my kid giving him ice cream.
Yeah.
Selling him one of those
Right.
screwballs for $9.95.
Right. Like, how long has this been in the freezer?
Got 3-year-old freezer burn on it.
So, yeah, but you might be right. That could be the way to go.
The delivery pizza that way.
Right, and then, you wouldn't even have to use cash.
No, you probably just wave your phone in front of the
Your
Google Pay or something.
Apple Pay or Google Pay, right.
Something like that.
Yeah, okay.
And you wouldn't even have to tip. That's the nice part. So we went from the Google self-driving car to that.
Yeah.
That's your 2-cent history lesson for today.
That's quite a lot.
I think so. Congratulations once again to Alicia Ryder, the winner of our trivia, and the $25 gift card courtesy of Firehouse Doors, OG sponsor. And she'll be in the drawing tomorrow for the bonus prizes
Yeah, it is tomorrow. Right?
from our friend Jordan Genso,
All right.
official
And
GIGO realtor.
absolutely. And, if they ever do make, automatic cars, driverless cars, regular on the roads, I'm sure Murphy's Family Auto will
Be able to service
be
those
able
vehicles.
to service those vehicles, or probably more likely service the rest of us who are like, I'm not driving. It looks like our Amazon account has been locked.
Again?
That's not a scam at all.
Not at all.
But
There's
yeah,
a
Murphy's
problem with
family.
their billing on our PayPal, too, according to this
Oh,
phone
wow.
company we're
wow.
using.
Yeah, okay.
I'm going to cancel them.
I think we probably should. Right, Murphy's Family Auto, of course, the whole shebang, everything you need for car and truck maintenance, tune-ups, brakes, electrical, shocks, tires, suspension, everything.
Hold on.
What?
Can we give away a Murphy's gift certificate tonight in trivia?
We can.
How about that?
All right.
Little bonus tonight.
So tonight,
Another bonus.
bonus. So in tonight's trivia, Thursday night trivia, we're going to give you a $50 gift certificate to Murphy's Family Auto, 517-552-3040. Check them out online, murphysfamilyauto.com.
All right, that's going to do it for us today. We'll be back tomorrow with the great Bonnie Runyon. We'll also give away a lunch from Torch 180 and whatever else we can squeeze in for your Friday. You'll see us then.
Yeah, you
I
will.
usually say we'll see you, but you'll see us before we see you.
Right.
If you really want to see us in big time, go on 96 West near
That's true.
Michigan Ave.
We are over there.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Sorry, my shoulder now. I'm scared. I think he wants a CPAP.
It sounds like
Mike and John.
he's got
Tune in
COPD.
next
He breathes
time.
awfully heavy. doesn't he?
GIGO.
Sometimes my dog does that when he's sleeping.